Hi, this is Coach World TV. I'm Laurie Lawson, and my guest tonight is Heather Markel.
Hello.
Hello, Heather. Thank you for coming. Gosh, let me start introducing her, and then probably when I finish, the show will be over. But right now...
Just get a pillow.
Yes, relax. I have a long thing to do. Right now, Heather is, she's the founder of something called Bullbuster Cafe. You may notice that there's a little cow on our desk, but we'll get her to talk about picolette in a few minutes. And she is also the founder, are you the founder of Cultural Transition?
Culture Transition, yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so she has many projects going, and she's also a member of the ICF NYC board. She's been on the board for 4 years now, I think. 4 years. Wow. And recently has become the president of the group referral.
Of a business referral
Thank
group
you.
at the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, so she's a little busy, so I'm really glad you got to schedule us in today.
For you.
Thank you.
Only because you wore red.
Yeah, it is, yes, today everybody we see has red on, so it's, I don't know, 'tis the day. So I don't even know where we should start, but I think we should start. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into coaching and all these crazy, wonderful programs that you started.
Coaching kind of found me, I guess.
That's my philosophy. It
Right?
calls you and you go.
It does.
Yes.
I kind of went to this, I had been exploring coaching actually for years, and I found this one program. I walked in the door, I did the introductory session, and it was like all of my chakras were in alignment. And I was like, I have to do this. It was the oddest thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it found me, and I got certified in 2008 and immediately joined the ICF chapter in New York City, and eventually got on the board of directors, and I started my first coaching business back in 2008, which was originally focused on work. I quickly segued into working with expatriates on the adaptation process.
Tell us the languages you speak. You might understand why she decided to work with expatriats.
Does nonsense count as a language?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be 7. I speak American English, sometimes with a British accent, French, German, Spanish, Italian, and a little Japanese.
Wow. And was this a concentrated study that you decided to do, or have you lived in all these places, or both?
I've lived in a lot. Let's see, I guess in 6th grade we had to choose Spanish or French, and I chose French.
I chose French, like I was going to live in France, but whatever.
Whatever. And I had 3 years of high school French under my belt when I went off for a month to live with a host family and realized that textbook and classroom French was meaningless and useless.
Exactly.
Because the people there didn't speak any English. So I was actually, had to struggle to figure out how to, if I couldn't say chair, I had to like point to things. And
universal language, yes.
Yes, pointing, universal. And the experience of ultimately learning to speak another language fluently and have this robust communication and relationship with people because I spoke their language was so enriching that I just made it a mission to study everything else I could.
Wow.
And
Nice.
that led to travel, and yeah, I lived in 4 different countries, and it's great.
Fantastic. So when you're doing expatriate, just tell us a little bit about, because I know we really want to talk about the bull busting, yes. But a little bit about expatriate and what the mission is of Cultural Transition.
Sure. So Culture Transition coaching was about helping people to adapt to the social, personal, and professional challenges that accompany a move to a new culture. Typically, we think of that when you move to a different country, but it's equally apparent when you move from the countryside to a big city, for example. So I would help clients to adapt to either all 3 of those areas, or we might pick one. And I developed a whole bunch of products around each of those, which I still sell. And ultimately, what happened was I would go to all these networking events and realize that people thought this was a fascinating niche, but nobody had ever heard of it. And yet, I knew all these other expat coaches, so I ended up starting an expat coach association and an expat coach directory, which I still run today.
Wow, okay.
And that's how I bring together serving expatriates around the globe and helping them reach the coaches that can serve them.
So if I were the wife of a French man who is being
Why?
we
We're
can
picking on
dream,
France.
who is being relocated to the United States, I could access your website and say, I don't know anything. Help me, and I need daycare. I need
Well,
a
it's
job
more, it's more you would access at this point the expat coach directory, and you would be able to see which coaches might be in or near the city or state that you're moving to, or
and
the
then
country.
consult them.
And then you can work with them on the services they provide. We don't usually provide daycare. It would be
No, I mean, but to say, okay, here's how daycare works in the United States,
Sure.
and
Yep.
things like that.
Or we
yeah.
might, if we didn't know, we'd be able to
I want
get
you to
a-
watch my
Yeah,
kids.
watch my kids.
I'm coming to town.
You
I
probably
need
don't want me to watch
I need a babysitter. No,
they would probably
you
be more
don't want me
naughty
to,
after.
You don't want me to have kids, no. But anyway, we'll talk about all that later. Okay, so very noble, very noble. So tell me, how did you get into bull busting? And this is the name she chose, okay?
It is. So what happened was I was doing the expat work, and I kind of realized that I was personally shifting in a new direction, which I think happens a lot with coaches. As we grow, we suddenly grow and transform ourselves. And that was happening to me. And at the time, I was in a relationship that I was unsure that I belonged there. And it took me a long time to realize that I needed to leave. And in so doing, I realized that, first of all, the reason that I had, created so much stagnance in my life was because I created all these thoughts and belief systems in my mind that kept me stuck, and which I refer to as bull. And the other thing that happened was when I stepped out of the relationship, I realized that what happened to me? Where did I go? I mean, that was the biggest sense. I was like, I really am disappointed. I miss these vibrant, alive parts of myself, and I don't get what happened to me. And I went through a process of reconnecting to myself, basically, my own authenticity, my own integrity, where, just relearning who I am. And that became the core mission of bull busting, is to help other people. I think a lot of us sort of, for various reasons, it could be relationship, it could be work, it could be many things, that we look at ourselves and we say, wow, what happened? I used to be so spontaneous. I used to be so joyful. I used to be funny, whatever it is. And, I find that people really want that back. And they think it's gone, but it's actually not. It's still there. And I just love lighting people up as I help them to reconnect to those parts of themselves. And that became, like I said, the main core mission of bull busting.
Okay, now do people, and I know that you also you're really working with leaders and small businesses, but if someone were, who would come to you? Would it be that someone says, oh my gosh, I've lost myself? Is that doesn't seem to be...
It's like Peter Pan. Yeah. Peter Pan comes by. So cows come to me. So
yeah, obviously.
So what happened is, I guess the people that would come to me, first off, there's my blog. So people that come, hopefully first come, they need a laugh. If you come to my website, it's, a lot of people come there and just crack up. So that's what I hope you get.
She's also a stand-up comedian in her spare time, yes.
My blog, which is called The Lie of the Day, even though it's every week. But anyway, we won't go there. So I present basically...
That's the first lie. It's not
that's the first lie. It's not really a daily lie. It's a weekly lie. But anyway, but it's okay. Because I'm full of bull too, that, I have to bust. So let's just bust it.
Okay.
So basically the lie would be a story or an excuse or something that I have used or heard other people use to stand in the way of what they ultimately want. And so on the blog, I will present the bull, and then I bust through it. So the first are the people that come and want to know, what is bull busting? The people that I work with in the coaching area tend to be solopreneurs. I work with a lot of service-based businesses. I'm actually at the moment working with a small business, more of a mom and pop shop. So I want to expand into that as well. And basically my core work right now, it's called a personality-based marketing system. And what that means is the first part of the system is about aligning the business owner to their own integrity and authenticity. And sometimes you don't even realize it, that you just do the program, and it's got this neat piece about the alignment that I think some business owners are surprised to find that, you know, they're this part of themselves that just hasn't quite been there. And it's amazing how much more alive the business owner becomes in that section. And then we take that, I actually make them name that section, that part of themselves, and we then carry that into a personality-based marketing system. So we take their personality and we make that an integral part of the marketing work that they do, and then we work together to implement whatever strategy we realize is appropriate.
Okay, so now this works, you work with individuals, you work with groups, you work with teams,
Right now it's
everybody?
mostly individuals and groups. I do want to work with teams as well. I'm actually kind of trialing right now. The mom and pop business is a team, so we're going to see how we can play with the system within a team. So I would like to bring it to teams as well.
Okay. And you're referring to a manual of substantial size,
yeah,
right?
I created this program from nothing, and it was really invigorating to see. I mean, it started here, just like our thoughts, and and it became this manual that's like this big. So yeah, it's got actual. There's, you know, it's some core. There's a lot of work to be done. I created the program, I think we were talking earlier, because I realized that in the marketing arena, especially as a solopreneur, there's a lot of gurus out there, which is great, and they want to teach us about marketing, but I'm left with the impression, having followed some of them, that social media might be the only kind of marketing, and that there's these 10 magic steps that we should all be following, and then our Facebook fan page will have thousands of followers, and we'll be really popular millionaires. And the truth is that no.
Not how it works.
But also that if we were all to follow the same 10 steps, well, then we'd all be the same, and isn't the point in business to be different?
What an excellent point. Yes, it's
and I know, and that popped out for me too. Going back to your original question of why I started the Bullbuster Cafe and what was going on. My previous two businesses, ironically, anyone that knows me knows that I love cows, and I have for a long time. And there are like no cows on any of my other business sites. And now I've developed
You felt a loss there, did you? Yes.
I did. Now my site is developed around the cows. And you know what happens is the more you that you become, the more you accept yourself, you accept that some people really don't like your work, and that's okay. And it's actually great, because if you're not into what I'm doing, then we save each other a lot of time. And I get to work with the people that come to my site and think, wow, she's nuts and I love it. Or, wow, she's really got an interesting message and I want to work with her. So it's great.
So give me an example of the lie of the day. What are some of the lies we tell ourselves?
Sure. So, well, one that I just recently published was called "Social Media Sucks." And
I don't know if that's a lie or not, but okay.
And I said it's a partial lie, yes, because I know. But what was interesting is, a lot of people just find social media overwhelming. It is a bit, honestly. But I think a lot of the times we wonder, well, here we are putting all these things out there. Is there really any point? Is it really serving a purpose? Is it getting to anyone? And as you know, I'm going to again give a shout out to Soul Friends, which is a great community.
I keep seeing Heather's picture pop up on there every time I happen to get that.
It
is
just
a
like
wonder. It does, except you're wearing green, but.
So yeah, or red. Well, so basically, I became part of this community a few years ago, and I have my blog feed there, and I noticed that they have been on Twitter retweeting my blog posts. And so, here I am just wondering, is my blog message getting to anyone? And they're retweeting it, and they've got this whole community. So they've helped me reach a whole community that I might not otherwise have reached. And then in return, I did this blog post, and I put a picture of the tweets between us and how that we were reaching different audiences. I was giving them a shout out in my blog post, and now here I am on TV giving them a shout out. So you can see how this can happen. There's just a flowing out of your message through social media.
Can you contour your social media advances and experiences to what you're comfortable with, as opposed to, because I know there's a set formula. It's like you have to do 30 blogs in order to get, and you have to have 7 comments per blog, and it's like, and that's what becomes overwhelming. I mean, is that, can you tailor it to your own needs and your own comfortable level of comfort?
Yeah, I mean, my theory is that you know, there's a lot of business owners that actually don't do any marketing, social media or anything, just because it's either overwhelming or they don't know where to start or how to use it. So I've worked with business owners, and we talk about the work they should do, and they don't do it. And what I've come to realize is that all of us tend to not do things. Do you know why? Because we don't like to do them.
Which makes a lot of sense,
right?
yes.
So my marketing work for people is about, what do you like doing, you know? And if you don't like writing or using social media, don't. Especially if the group of people you're trying to reach aren't on social media. Maybe for you, you're not going to use it. Maybe you're going to be one of those people that actually outsources your social media to someone else. I was just going to
say, if your people are, then have someone else do it for you.
Exactly.
You know.
So, I mean, unfortunately, it is true today in today's world that, you know, social media usually does have some relevance for most of us. But yes, whether you do it, you outsource it, whether you use it, you know, once a month instead of once a week, I mean, it really depends on you. And I think each business owner should really be free to use the skills that they love using in an enriching way that's going to allow them to go do the work rather than making excuses about why they didn't get it done.
And I think maybe a good attitude to have is, well, let me experiment and see what's really going to work. And, you know, do I have to be this uncomfortable? But I think you owe it to yourself to try whatever you, because we all like a challenge, and we all can always go, oh no, I'm just going to do everything
Table
uncomfortable.
is a challenge, yes.
Yeah, but it's we're stable so far.
It might go flying.
We're going to make it levitate later.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait. Yes. That'll be after the show's over.
Yeah. You'll have to take our word for it. Yes. No, we have
That's
a little.
No bowl.
Yes. We have, no, it is big bowl. We have a little wobbly table, but we're coping with that. So tell us what this lovely cow is
Sure.
doing.
Can we get a close-up? We can do close-ups. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
So this is Picolette. She is French. And I kind of randomly came up with her name, and it turns out, so this is her story. Picolette, she's a very disappointed cow because she travels the world looking for the glass that's the right size, because she can never finish the last drop of any of her drinks because she just can't fit in the glass. And Picolette basically means pickled. Is what I found out, which was, I thought I made the name up, but there's a French word, picoler, which means basically to drink too much or be pickled, so it was very fitting. So that's my story. She has her own Facebook fan page,
and quite often you'll see her in some of Heather's regular pictures also. I think this is not unusual that she's out on a Monday night.
It might be that she and I could be in the same place. That could happen. So that's the Picolette story, and she's actually the best so far. I was at the W Hotel in Atlanta earlier this year, where I met John Hamm and John Stamos. And instead of getting my picture with them, I got Picolette's picture with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking for others. If you know a celebrity that would like their picture with Picolette,
with a cow,
please contact me.
Yes. And what about your Bullbuster cards, which are kind of cute?
So,
I'm sorry, Malik, we're testing you tonight. Can you do another close-up?
Zoom in, zoom out. So as part of my personality-based marketing system, of course, we work with bowls. There are fear-based bowls and transformation bowls, and these are some of my fear-based bowls. So this one is relationship bowl.
Okay.
Right, got bowl. Then we have financial bowl. We have.
I like the money skirt. Yes.
Yeah. Business bowl. And the last one I have to show is technical bowl for all those of us who are fearful of social media and the computer and the internet. And there's several more. Actually, there's 2 more in development. I just talked to that's the thing. We all have so much bowl that it's like a never-ending chain of types of bowl. So it's actually a really fun process. And I will be making them into a playful card deck in the future.
Now, if we wanted to visit you and your bowls, where would we?
You'd have to go in your mind. No.
Yes. Where would we go?
To my website.
Okay. Or your home address,
Yeah,
whichever you
or my
prefer.
home, that's true, actually. Or actually,
no.
usually when I'm out, Picolette usually does travel with me. So
Yes.
So you could stalk me, and then you would see her. But so it's www.bustyourbull.com.
Right, and that's
actually,
at the bottom there. If
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, look at that. It's at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, it is.
And actually, at the bottom of my website, you will see a row of clickable. It's very funny. Clickable. I mean, haha.
Oh my goodness.
Everything is a fun with me.
I don't know if I can stand. What do we got? Another
Well, you're
10
sitting,
minutes
thank
of this?
God. So all the bulls at the bottom offer you a chance to meet some of the bull busting herd and to check out there's a Facebook fan page. I'm on Pinterest. It takes you to a lot of different directions with the bulls.
Okay. So what are your future plans? Right now, what you're doing, you're dealing mostly with small businesses?
Yeah.
But if an individual says, "Oh my God, that relationship thing you said, it's me. I got to get out of here. I lost myself," then you could also.
Yeah, what I'm actually doing. So the like I said, the personality-based marketing system has an alignment piece and a marketing piece, and I'm finding actually that the alignment piece is resonating with some people, and I've actually started making that its own program for people that feel exactly, I've stepped out of this situation, or I'm in this situation and feeling lost, and I really want to pull myself back together. I want to work with those people as well.
It's interesting because I do career transition, and a lot of people that come to me are like, "Oh my God, I climbed the ladder, I played the game, I played all the rules, I made it, I'm making a lot of money. I hate my life," And it's like, okay, we got to go back and find out what really brings you what makes your heart sing,
Exactly.
And it's, so I can see it. I love that you're doing it for businesses. I can see certainly the business owner should be aligned with what he or she wants to do. But also, I think it's so important for individuals to come into alignment, because I think when you get into a relationship, for example, you kind of mold yourself to what the other person wants and needs, and it's like, and sometimes it's easy to just let go of yourself. So
exactly, and the other group of people that I think it works well with, just because I have so much experience with the expats as well. I'm looking at expat business owners that move to America specifically, and have to navigate the marketing culture of America, because it is, and actually if you go to my Facebook fan page, we just made the Culture Bowl, so you'll be able to see that there. Really fun design.
Culture Bowl.
I love my designer, he's awesome. So basically, it's a big shift, because the American marketing culture, for many other cultures, is really kind of arrogant and boastful. And if they behaved,
I'm not surprised to hear her say that. But I mean those are things that are rewarded. They're
here they are rewarded for you. You toot your own horn, and if you don't toot your own horn, you don't get the business.
Yeah.
And so it's really difficult to come here and realize, oh my God, how am I going to do this when this is the exact opposite of what I've been trained to do, and now how can I look at myself in the mirror every day and behave this way? And because the two get united, it's sort of like arrogance and marketing, and so working with those business owners to help them find a way that feels more comfortable and more authentic to do their marketing.
Interesting, because I had a guest on here who has a business in America and also in Japan. And she said one of the biggest challenges is we are told, if you're in a board meeting, speak up, let them know you're there, talk up. And in Japan, in the Asian culture, it is considered totally disrespectful to speak out. And so when they get here, it's like nobody says anything, and it's like, why did they put him? Why did they transfer him here? He has nothing to offer.
Yeah.
So how do you meld those two? Do you make them aware that this is, and then help them practice to do it?
Yeah, it's definitely about awareness. It's about also finding what is the stereotype, what are they relating in themselves to this behavior?
Again, bull busting, yes.
Right? It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bull busting.
You're never going to be without a client. I can guarantee
right?
that. Yes.
It's kind of like weddings. It's a never-ending stream of business.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
it's kind of
funerals.
nice.
Yeah.
I was
Same
going to say,
thing.
but
little down,
right,
but that's
the
all
holidays
right.
are coming. Trying to be optimistic.
All right. I'll go with yours. Weddings. Okay. So first came cultural transition, and then you decided because you were seeing that, you know, some of these myths, or not myths, I guess just culture habits,
Yeah.
could be broken. They're not written in stone, and they're not, you know.
You know, I worked with actually a friend of mine from Germany, and who had a business opportunity that required some follow-up. And you know, for her, the idea of following up was kind of being too pushy, and that, you know, for her was just not part of who she is. She's a lovely, lovely person, and we just talked about it, and I kind of was like, well, you know, if you went to, say, your corner massage parlor or something, and you walked in there and you wanted that massage, you just didn't have time to book it, and you told them, you know, you ran out, left your email address, and said, I'll call you tomorrow, but you forgot. If they contacted you next week and said, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but you had said you were going to call us and you didn't, I mean, would you be as upset that they reminded you? And she's like, no, because I wanted that massage. I'm like, well, exactly, this client wanted to work with you. He just got busy. And so from that perspective, she was able to just, you know, send that quick email that was just, you
nice
know,
metaphor,
and got
yeah.
the business. So it was great.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm afraid to ask because we don't have that much time.
Oh,
But
are we running out of time? That's another one. Time Bowl is another of those bowls, actually.
no, this is reality. And we have
That
like 2
exists?
minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay.
And that's reality. But I just, what's next? Or
Oh, time is actually a myth, but anyway.
Well, we don't have time to talk about that. But
What's next?
yes, what's next for bull busting, or is that where
actually,
your heart
figurines.
lies?
I want some figurines. If anyone knows anyone that makes figurines, bull figurines, I want to make like action figures and keychains out of the bulls.
We'll do a shout out and see what we get. I wouldn't sit by the phone waiting, but go ahead.
No, but actually, so you know, right now, what I'm really revved up to do is bring out the personality-based marketing system in a bigger and wider way. I'd ultimately, in the next year, I'd like to also write a book that kind of integrates those philosophies and makes some of the work available to people. Maybe they don't want to work with me. Maybe they kind of want to like take home part or all of the program. So working on a way to make the program available to people.
So
in
make it in
ways.
sections, yeah. So now for the personality alignment marketing, that can be an individual, that can be a small business, that can be
So I
a VIP executive.
Yeah, I mean, I do it in a VIP day, or actually 2 days. It can be, I just did a group teleclass. That can be several people on the phone, or it can be working one-on-one on the phone or in person over either the 2 days or over a period of time, depending on how the client
But
wants
whatever the circumstance, you are there as the coach to guide them through.
it. Exactly.
And the material that they get is theirs to keep.
It's theirs to keep. I created it, and it's theirs to keep.
Okay.
Yep.
And would you also take that program and tailor it toward a small business if necessary?
I'm willing to do it, absolutely. I mean, I learn something with every client I work with, and actually have been, you know, updating the program every time, because it's great. Because you know what one client teaches me gets to be information for the next. So
Well,
it's
that's
great.
it. A coach's job is never done.
It's so true.
And that's good. That's what makes it interesting, and that's probably why we do it, because we can help
it's-
others and learn at the
fun.
same time.
Yeah.
So it all turns out to be good. Well, I can only say, you can see this is a busy lady, so I have to say thank you for making time for Coach World TV.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to keep it up. Let me know what you're doing.
Okay. Thank
Thank you, Heather.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.